To what extent? Can we use pink on a Cafe Racer project? Most will probably say it's a risky choice. But if you think carefully, you'll see it's a very courageous choice. Because only someone very confident will use pink. And when used with a sense of humor, even better. The big question is, would it look cool on a motorcycle? And that's what we're going to find out in the next few minutes. Welcome to Racertv. For the first time on this channel, I present you a motorcycle with pink on it. Yes, it's one of those. And what do I mean one of those? I just wanted to say, it's one of those bikes that looks cool from any angle. Obviously. Notice the proportions and the size. The stunts. Anyone can see that this project was extremely well thought out. And what is even more impressive, this is a homemade build. Wayne Huffer is the man behind this impressive project, which was built in his own garage under the name Dust Monkey Creations in England. Professionally, he works in a car body shop, mostly on classic cars. But about 8 years ago, Wayne began working on custom motorcycles in his garage. And this Honda is his 5th project. Customizing motorcycles as a daily full job is not only his dream, but it is also a passion. But I think I don't need to say that, because we just have to look at the details of this awesome motorcycle. It all started with this Honda CB600 FS. Essentially, it is a Honda Hornet, but a much less popular version. And yes, the amount of changes is huge, which means it will be very difficult to mention them all in this video. But before that, let's talk about how Wayne managed to get these lines. I was quite surprised when I found out that he didn't have a background in design, because almost every part on this project says the opposite. Personally, I think Wayne was pretty smart at this point, because he used one of the most effective methods, the old trial and error approach. But he also tried a few things in Photoshop for some guidance. So, this was one of the initial plans. Very soon it became obvious the subframe would have to be cut. Overall, the early versions had some interesting ideas, like this frame extension. But the air filter box took that option in a different direction. This fuel tank is a universal part bought on eBay. But after several attempts, Wayne didn't like the way it lined up with the engine. The problem was in these two lines, with different inclinations, until he discovered the Honda CB750 tank from the 70s could solve these problems. For reasons of time, I will not be able to explain the entire evolution of the project. But through these photos, they can see how everything evolved till the final version. But I have to point out some choices, like this structure over the swing arm, which came from a different motorcycle. A very interesting option, which helps to give it a more muscular look, just like the belly pan. The format of this section is equally brilliant. A very elegant solution to hide the custom subframe which bolts to the central tube. The rear cowl in this image It looks very good in terms of size and shape. But Wayne wanted something more. Until he had another genius idea. This section is undoubtedly the icing on the cake. It's the kind of solution that turns something conventional into something spectacular. Furthermore, it is an excellent solution for placing all taillights. Another interesting detail is the process used to make all these parts. Each piece is created with a cardboard mold, which is later replicated in sheet metal. Which means all these parts are made of sheet metal, right? No, it is even more complicated. After painting the metal parts, they are ready to take the fiberglass molds from them. With these molds, Wayne can produce each piece as many times as he wants. And some of them were made from carbon fiber. As you have already noticed, several parts came from other motorcycles. But other than that, almost everything else was handmade or highly modified. Especially the fuel tank. According to Wayne, the interior had to be quite hard worked on to fit the Hornet's frame. This applies also to the exterior, to ensure steering angle clearance. And before you ask, yes, he adapted the Hornet's fuel cap in this fuel tank. As you can see, this project is full of very interesting details. No wonder Wayne estimated 1,000 hours of work on this Honda. And about 100 of these hours were devoted to the paint work only. And so we come to a very important question. Why pink? It all started when Wayne posted some renderings on Instagram with the pink paint work. Consequently, he received several derogatory comments, until Wayne began to see this color as being an interesting option. And so he decided to show the two fingers to all the pink haters, adding a very interesting sentence. Personally, sometimes it looks more purple than pink. But one thing is certain. This Cafe Racer was a great success during this year's Bike Shed Moto Show. And I think all the recognition, it's well deserved. Because every detail of this motorcycle looks absolutely spotless. And if you want to know how everything was made, I recommend you see Wayne's YouTube channel. Wayne did a really outstanding job at all levels. In execution, finishes, design, and of course, in audacity. Thank you for watching Racertv. And as always, I hope to see you on the next video.